Hello, this is Broly, SS Guide, and I'm back with another video. This video, I like to continue talking about how we have PlayStation YouTubers. That's why I gotta say this: PlayStation YouTubers that's shilling for Sony. I don't care if they show you 1,000 video games of physical disc or not. These dudes will take anything bad that Sony does and turn it against you when it comes to physical disc, blaming us for not buying enough physical discs, even though they know that Sony sit there and fix those numbers to make it look like it's less discs being sold from on their end for saying as far as like not being sold, right, compared to like digital sales, how they lied about that. And they don't talk about it. They always say, well, it's 82%. That's the sales numbers of digital, and you're only 15%. You're only 15%. Yeah, 50% of lies. That's not the real numbers. We all know that's not the real numbers, bro. But yet, you want to blame PlayStation fans that's saying, "Oh, y'all ain't buy enough this, y'all ain't do this and do that." But at the same time, why doesn't Sony never show the numbers for other places like Japan? Show those numbers of physical sales being sold. Why is it always just USA? Just USA. Oh, USA low numbers. USA low numbers. Show Japan's numbers. They don't never do that, though, do they? They don't never show Japan's numbers of physical discs being sold. You know why? Well, you know what? I made a mistake sitting there saying Japan don't buy physical. I didn't know that they did, but they really do. From what I've been hearing about Japan, um, I thought it was probably more like of digital players because of like China, because they more like on PC. So that's my mistake. So anyway, you got YouTubers that sitting here snitching on Rockstar, not Rockstar, but snitching on the leaker, telling Rockstar who's posting out videos and blah blah blah. But this is really mainly focused on um the ones that's like pretty much blaming the player base for not buying physical, even though we are buying physical. And it's crazy how um Sony just came out with a email article with us. They put out email saying that, yeah, hey, look, you don't own your games. So they're actually putting this out, right? Check this out. Now, for me, I will speak for myself. I didn't know we didn't own these games, right? At one point in time, I didn't know that. I thought that, that the games we were buying digitally, we still own them like we did with a physical copy, but just in a digital form. I didn't know we didn't own these games. I truly didn't. But it did feel weird just keep buying, buying digital and not being able to touch your game because it's a digital copy. But I never felt like, what, I don't own this at all. Like, when I pay for something, I always felt as though that I owned it. Like it was totally just mine as far as, digital. So I was dead wrong about that. But the thing is this. This guy sitting there, these YouTubers out here talking about some, you guys knew this was gonna happen. You knew this was gonna come. No, we did not know it was gonna come. And a lot of people, including myself, did not read the terms of service and all that crap they have long as damn articles, or long as pages of what to read for the terms of service. I didn't read all that crap. I was ready to play the game. You know what I'm saying? I bought it. I thought this when it says word buy, when it says word purchase, I'm thinking, okay, I'm purchasing something I'm out to own. So I didn't know that we were sitting here buying the rent when I was actually doing it back then. I mean, I haven't bought a game since then, as far as digitally. You know what I'm saying? I haven't bought anything digital from Sony ever since I heard about that. Besides, like DLC and stuff, that's different for my games. But like, as far as buying a straight up um, full game, video game from Sony, I haven't bought anything from them digital. You know what I'm saying? I've been buying my games physically. I've been going back to the stores now and buying my games that I bought digitally, physically. I'm doing that right now, bro. Cause like right now I gotta go back and get Spider-Man 2 for a physical copy. I gotta get this game right here. I got right now I'm playing this on digital. I wish I never did that shit. I wish I never did that. But hey, I didn't know that we was gonna go to an all digital future this soon. That's another thing too. He tried to talk about something. Y'all know this is gonna happen. Y'all knew this is gonna come. Yeah, like maybe one day later on in the future. Not right now, man. Like we just in 2026. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got no flying cars yet. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have no hoverboards out here right now. Like we see movies that have all digital future, but like in movies, you be seeing. Well, I be seeing stuff like flying cars, robots walking around with what we call it, like laser guns and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like way ahead in the future, not right now. We still got cars that drive on wheels. You know what I'm saying? Like we barely got robots that can actually walk around on the streets. They are putting something out now though in some areas that they could roll around and deliver packages or something like that. You know, but um I just think that we're just too far behind right now for us to be having an all digital future. And I think Sony's trying to speed it up. They want that to happen. They want us to be locked to their console. And I have a PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation guy. You know what? And I like PlayStation a lot. I don't love them, but I like PlayStation a lot. Okay, I might have said I loved them a few times. So I love the console, but as far as the company, I don't have no love for them. I'm sorry. As far as loving a console, I love the PS3 more than any other console that I have. PS5, I like it. I really don't love it. I like the console, bro, because like the PS3 did way more than what this PS5 can do. And I'm not talking about far as graphics, and I'm not talking about far as like frames per second. I don't, nah, none of that. I'm talking about what a game can actually, the system actually can do. I can go online. I can play for free online. I could download movies on online, full movies on my PS3, and watch them. I didn't need no USB and nothing for it. You know what I'm saying? And those movies are still on my system. You know, I can install my own music on my PS3. I didn't have to worry about using Spotify on my PS3. I don't know if we could do it on our PS5, but I know on my PS3 we could definitely do that. I could there's a lot of things that PS3 could do that the PS5 can't even do to this day. You know what I mean? But get back to the subject though. As far as Sony, they do not care about us. They don't. And what's sad is you got these YouTubers, not even just YouTubers, actual just players that's all digital that might know this and they don't care. Okay, the ones that do know it don't care. So they don't care that they don't own these games. You gonna spend $100 on Grand Theft Auto, knowing that game that doesn't belong to you, just to play the game. You're renting the game. But Sony came out with an email saying, "Yeah, you don't own none of your stuff when it comes to digital." You notice how they left out physical, right? They said digital, digital. That's why it's so important for us to keep the physical games alive. Just keep the physical games coming, cause like I don't have a PS6, and next thing I know, data corrupted stuff is up there. My games are gone. I got to rebuy the game through Sony's PlayStation store, and the prices might be sky high. And then I saw they don't give you refunds. Look at their refund policies, trash. They don't want to give you refunds. Think about that. All they want to do is take more and more of our money and give us less and less. Pay more for less. That's all we're gonna be doing. Paying more for these games, and you get for standard version. Think about this now. And this, I'm sorry, dude. I gotta say your name, Marlon Emanation. I'm sorry, dude, but you're the main one I hear about. Oh yeah, all y'all buy is these expensive games. Everything is $80, $100, $80, $100. But think about this, Marlon. They're buying them because of what? They're getting extra value out of those games. They're not getting standard versions of it because they want more for their buck. So that's understandable. Now the thing is, Sony wants to do it, and what they're going to try to do is make those games standard prices of $90 to $100 games. That's not cool, bro. And that's not I'm not justifying that. But you're going to justify it because what you see is um higher tier games, well, games with more bang for their buck, give you more value out of your money, give you extra skins, extra DLC in your um for your purchase, and you're using that as, well, since they're sitting here buying all of this up over the standard, then you guys are doing it to yourselves. No, they're not, because they're getting more out of what they're getting. You're not saying that part. All you saying is you making it seem like they're buying all standard versions for you know what I'm saying, $90 to $100 games for standard. They're not doing that. These are games are digital deluxes, ultimate deluxes, whatever you want to call them. Like, that makes sense. Or they get early access. That makes sense too. Only, you know what I noticed about these guys that don't like early access? They don't like it because, you know why? It hurts them because they want to get early access before everybody else do for their reviews. That's why they don't like the early access for players. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. Because they want to get early access, be the first one to say I played the game, and be the first one to say here's my review. Then what? The players do the same thing when they buy early access. They can get early access and play it before you, the same time you can, and review the game and tell their opinion. But see, they don't like that. A lot of ways, some of these YouTubers are just like Sony, bro. All they want is just money, 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 and they see that by sticking with Sony, by defending Sony, that's how they stay in Sony's good graces of getting free games and free equipment and stuff like that. And that's what they're looking at. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't want to talk too bad about Sony. You notice how they somehow don't even mention Hiroki Toki. They don't mention how bad he is. They don't mention they'll jump on Herman Holtz and Jim Ryan. But you notice how they don't never talk about Herman Holtz being bad. They don't, not her brother. They'll never talk about Hiroki Toki being a bad leader, a bad CEO. They'll talk about Hidaki Nishino being a bad CEO or president, wherever he's supposed to be. They never mention his name out their mouth. They won't, unless it's something to make Sony, um, to defend Sony about. If they defend Sony about it, then you hear Hiroki Toki's name probably of him maximizing something for profits. Then you hear something about Hiroki Toki. But if something negative about Hiroki Toki or something negative about um, Hidaki Nishino, you won't hear a peep about that. Not from them. Hell, you even got freaking Xbox guys that won't even talk about Hiroki Toki or Hidaki Nishino. They still relying on Jim Ryan as a console war insults instead of looking at what's going on ahead of us right now with our current presidents. And I know that Herman Holtz is bad as well. I understand that, but I do also understand that every decision that Herman Holtz makes got to be run by who? Hiroki Toki. Keep that in mind. Another thing is this: even if Herman Holtz makes bad decisions, why does it take two? It takes two people. So you mean tell me that Hiroki Toki can't have a mind of his own and say, you know what? Nah, we're gonna cancel that. That's his job to say yes or no, right? Right or wrong? So why didn't he say no to Marathon and kept the Destiny 3? Bring out Destiny 3. He could have been like, yeah, you know what? We're gonna cancel Marathon. We don't need that. We'll go ahead and go forward with Destiny 3. They don't care. And you know why they want to do Destiny 3? Money. It's more. It's gonna be more money to make it. They don't want to make it because of that. They looked at Marathon as a cheaper way of getting a, um, a multiplayer game out there. They don't want to use the resources and money for Destiny 3 because of that. You know what I'm saying? But what happened to Hiroki Toki supposed to be making these games more cheaper to buy, more cheaper to make? I'm sorry, more cheaper to make. What happened to that? And then isn't that what they did with Ghost of Yote? So why is it we still have a worry about prices going up sky high for other first party games when they can do the same thing they did with Ghost of Yote? You feel me? Another thing too is this: why have I don't hear any YouTubers from PlayStation side talk about, well, how about um, Sony, instead of giving us digital codes in a box, why don't they do a key card thing like like Nintendo? Why don't we get a key card? That way we can still have the game physically, and we can trade it and sell it, or whatever. It'll be yours physically. Why haven't any other YouTuber said anything about that? As far as PlayStation side, I'm talking about the big PlayStation YouTube, not the small ones, the bigger ones. Why haven't they said anything about that? But again, I'm gonna go towards Marlon Gaming Nation. He's a bigger YouTuber, in my opinion. If you have 50,000 subscribers, it's not that small of a channel. So yes, you're a bigger YouTuber, in my opinion, and I feel like you should be talking about this. You should be telling people, telling PlayStation, "Hey, look, why don't y'all go put on key cards like Nintendo?" You should be at least suggesting that. As far as like being a way to keep players happy, some kind of way of owning our physical games, it'll be through a key card. I don't mind that. I'd rather have that. They have a code in the box that eventually just goes into your system and you never get to see it in your hands again, unless you just open up an empty box. If the box has no value when you put that code in, that's a wrap. That's a wrap right there. So they should, in my opinion, that's another thing too. I've been hearing that Sony's disc costs less to make than a Nintendo game cartridge. I heard like the Nintendo game cartridge costs like about $15 to make, and then Sony's game, which is the disc, only costs about $5 or $6. So they're not really hurting that bad as far as them making money, or sorry, making CDs, making discs. It don't cost that much money to make compared to Nintendo. From what I've been hearing, Nintendo make their cartridges cost way more money than Sony's. The DVDs, CDs. So that's no excuse. And again, the 82% thing is, to me, is just bull. But that's another thing I want to talk about too. Retro elimination, right? I know I talked about you a lot, Ro. You may want to watch the most, so I gotta talk about you. So look, though, Ro, check this out. Now, you want to talk about numbers? You always keep bringing up Sony's numbers of 82%, 82%. But as soon as somebody says somebody Rockstar lost almost $3 billion, oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. No, I don't. He didn't even want to talk about that part of the segment of the story, right? He left that part out, intentionally left that part out. Somebody had to actually talk in his chat and bring up the subject. Well, Rockstar lost a lot of. I don't believe it. He cut him right off. I don't believe it. Now I don't believe it. They would have said something. Uh, hello, Berlin. Sony don't talk regardless if it's good or bad. They don't talk. They don't tell us anything. If Sony didn't tell us that there's plenty of things that happen. Okay, hello. Okay. For instance, right? If Sony didn't even tell us that they got hacked months ago, right? They had got hacked or something like that. It happened a while back. Got hacked. It was like, I think last year they got hacked. They didn't say a word. They didn't say a peep. You remember that? They got hacked like sometime last year, I think. They didn't open their mouth and say not one word, right? So they could have came out and said, we know we apologize to the fans. They got hacked, blah blah blah. They didn't open their mouth about it. They're like it didn't even exist. So what make you think they're gonna sit there and talk about bad news of them losing money in case they are losing money for PlayStation Plus and PlayStation not being sold that well? They're not gonna say anything about that. Just like how they did that, just like how they don't want to talk about the physical disc actually probably doing better than the digital. They don't want us to know that the physical discs are doing better. That's why they um use PC players for those 6 years to build up digital sales. That was their main purpose. It was nothing to do with Sony actually converting over PC players to PC. That was never the case. If you know why, if it was, why would you put out your whole franchise on PC? Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Ghost of not Ghost of Tsushima, but God of War 1, God of War 2. Your main consoles. Think about that. They wanted to boost up the data for PC sales to go to the digital sales they want, the future they want to have. Let's just say those numbers were for real, right? Let's just say those numbers are accurate. It's 82%. How do we don't know those numbers that come from PC? The whole 6 years they've been on PC collecting all of those games they purchased. Think about that. How come they don't? You know what? These YouTubers don't even talk about that. How that's a possibility that they use PC numbers to actually boost up their sales in digital. They don't talk about that. You notice that? Oh, well, it's just a Sony player base, y'all. For years and years and years, from PS3 to PS4. On my PS3, I'm mostly physical. Majority physical. My PS3. I got more physical. You know, I got more physical games on my PS3 than all my consoles. PS4, I got some PS4 games, but I didn't. I mean, I bought a lot of PS4 games, but it wasn't that many to buy. I mean, I'm just being real with you guys. Like, compared to my PS3, it's more. I had more games on my PS3 to buy than PS4. Real talk. Like when PS4 came, we got the new Kratos, and I wasn't really hyped for that game. After I saw God of War, I didn't go. So you know what? I got to buy me a physical copy of this game. That's I'm sorry, it just didn't hype me up that much because like it was just a Kratos I didn't like, I didn't want, didn't care for. That's the thing about it. And they had like the OG Kratos, bruh, on the PS4, TC Carlson version. Man, brand new Kratos game, God of War game. I would have jumped on a physical copy for that game. I really would have. Spider Man, I've never been a huge fan of him like that. You know, like compared to like X Men or anything like that, or Hulk movies or Hulk games or Hulk, you know, stuff like that. Hulk, Spider Man is like one of my least favorite characters. It's a fun game, but as far as like Marvel heroes, like, eh, I could get that digitally, and that's what I did. You know, what I mean? Like, you don't get me wrong, I love Marvel though, but but Spider Man is not like my go-to as far as like a hero game. But I will end up buying this physically because, like I said, I want to own my games. I didn't, like I said, I wanted a few that did not read the terms or services of what they wanted to do. If I had known that, I would have been bought this game physically. I'm about to go get this physically probably this week. Hopefully this week I'm gonna get this physically. But so I'm definitely about to get Mario Kart. I might get Mario Kart for my Switch too, bro. Yeah, bro, I gotta get that Mario Kart. Um, this costs $80 for that game. But you know what? It's a physical copy, and I know it's gonna be mine. Compared to Rockstar's um Grand Theft Auto non-physical copy that you don't be owning at all. And once the license go out, the game is gone. I swear it's just so weird that people they defend it and they'll just blame the players or player base of Sony. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't buy enough, y'all didn't do your job. Shut up. We did do it. No, we was buying these physical copies. I'll still buy mine regardless though. I pick and choose what I want it to be by physical or not. But at the same time, I did buy physical. You know what I'm saying? Like another thing too, how they get you is their PlayStation Plus. Now I noticed that when my library grew because of PlayStation Plus. Because every time you go Plus, you get to download free games. And I noticed that my library got start getting bigger and bigger and bigger because of those free games. And that's how it adds on to digital sales. I bet they use that as digital sales too. If they're using DLC as digital sales, you best believe they're using PlayStation Plus as digital sales too for the free game that you get per month. They doing that crap, man. That's how they get you too. I didn't know that till after we heard um, how they broke stuff down about how they do their sales, which is just slimy, in my opinion. And again, I don't hate Sony, but I put it like this. I don't like the people that's running Sony right now. Hiroki Toki, Hidaki Nishina, even Herman Hulst, I don't like his ass either. I'm not the Herman Hulst defender. What I'm saying is, I feel like he gets more smoke more than anybody else. Him and Jim, what's his name? I'm about to say Jim Jones, Jim Ryan, but like nobody gives them smoke. As far as Hiroki Toki and Hidaki Nishino, they don't give them no kind of smoke. If they want to talk about something that happened today, they go all the way back into back when Ram Jim Ryan said this, back in with Jim. Doesn't matter what Jim Ryan said back then. Because you know why it doesn't matter? Because what he's saying now said, okay, look, what he said back then is the decisions that they're doing right now because they want it to be done. Apparently, that tells you that this is the decision they always wanted to have to be done in the first place. Live service games, Hiroki Togi. Y'all can blame Zimmer all you want, but you know why? No, I ain't gonna say it's Hiroki Togi. I blame it on Shigeru Yoshida. Shigeru Yoshida is the one that wanted the PC ports, and live service came along with that. Why you think they want to get rid of PC players playing those multiplayer games? Think about that. And then she came out and said there and said, "Oh, he has not. She said nothing wrong with PC. What do you say? He don't see nothing wrong with all digital future. He's all in for it. He's all in for it because he's been on PC like that. He loves PC, bro. And again, there's nothing wrong with people loving PC. There's everyone want to play this, so be it. But the point is like he is the main cause of why we're here like this. He's the main reason why we got all our games going to PC. He's the main reason why we got all these live service games. It's because of him. But y'all don't never say nothing about that. Jim Ryan, Herman Holmes, Jim Ryan said this. Okay, did Jim Ryan say put all games on PC? No, but they don't talk about that. They talk about what he said in interviews as far as like games or old games not being worth being played and sold today. They bring that up, or they bring up Jim Ryan saying something about 12 live service games or 13 live service games. They'll bring that up, but they'll never talk about how that decision was being made. They don't talk about how the decision came to be. They don't talk about the man who put games on PC, the idea of the games being in PC. They don't talk about that, or do they? No, they don't. That's why I'm so glad that Hiroki, no, not Hiroki Tokyo, Shugi she came out and said this, say, yeah, I agree with it. I'm glad he said it. 'Cause I knew you agreed with it. I've been making videos about that nigga for the longest time, saying that he agrees with it. He's the PC. He's the one that love PC like that and put games on PC. It was him. But yeah, it's like PlayStation players are so blinded by it. They're so I'm gonna say all, but the ones that I be seeing for as YouTubers, oh my god, PlayStation could do no wrong, bro. Sony is the best thing since sliced bread. They're angelic. They got angels and harps, and they got halos around their head, and they can shoot you in the brains, and a wing of two white wings will pop up behind their back, and a halo, and they can smile and just say, "Yes, we did it, but we got mine share." they can rob you. They can go to your house and rob you blind, and they got wings in their back and a halo. And you give you a little smile, their little Japanese looking eyes and smile, and they look at you and they little grin, and that's what we can talk about now. And they look at you and say, "It's okay, we got mind share." I'm sorry, I gotta give that to your voice. It's okay, we got mind share. Cause you know what I'm doing it. You know why? Cause I be seeing people mock Jim Ryan so much at Herman House, Jim Ryan. So I want to mock. We're gonna talk you bitch ass. It's okay, we got mind share. And I'm not being racist. I'm just sick of people always want to make fun of other people. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they don't want to. They don't want to attack the main ones that's been doing the dirt, which is Hiroki Togi. And I can't really say Nino too much though, but he's a part of it though. You know why? He was talking about some yeah, live service is a new thing right now going on, and we embrace that in our future. What? I know I said it 1,000 times, but come on, bro. Really? Really though? That tells you right there. This goes beyond Jim Ryan's live service push because they always wanted it. Ever since they decided to go to PC, they always wanted to go live service, and it makes sense to go live service on PC because like that's a bigger player base than PlayStation and Xbox put together and Nintendo. But the thing about it, I don't like it. I don't want it to happen. I'm not gonna sit here and tell fans to accept it, like Marlon. Accept it, guys. Accept it. You have no choice. And you know what? You know what? You can tell how He's mad about those leakers and everything about Rockstar and all that, and also with Sony. Oh my God, I gotta keep talking about this, bro. Okay, he's mad. You know, I can tell he's really frustrated and mad because he's been coming out here lately a lot, making videos. He knows it. Look at his body language. This dude is so mad that people are cheering for that leaker. People are mad at Rockstar. People are mad at Sony, and people are telling him they are going to leave Sony to go to another platform. He can't stand it. Every time somebody said it in his chat, he'll tell them to leave and never come back. How are you gonna tell somebody to never come back? They can come back anytime they want to. You know what I'm saying? They never come back. Pack up your toothbrush and your this and that and your clothes and never. Man, please. Don't be telling people stuff like that. You're that mad because somebody say that they want to let PlayStation go. I want to be mad, but then let them go. Why would I be mad about that? But he's clearly being mad. The way his attitude is, his demeanor, his body language. This nigga like banging. He ain't banging the table, but like he just gets a really nasty attitude when somebody says, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just let PlayStation go." Well, fine. Well, fine. Go on, fine, go. Sony doesn't care. They can get three or four of you. When you go, five more pop up, six more pop up. Yeah, man, I swear, it's like a cult. I'm sorry, it's like a cult, bro. I thought Xbox was bad, bruh. I had no idea until I started seeing how things happen once Sony does some bad stuff, and it ain't no point, it ain't no way of spinning it. And so, come on, bruh. And I'm a PlayStation fan. You know what I'm saying? I like PlayStation. But I'm not gonna sit here and like act like they're not doing no wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and act like they're angelic. I'm not gonna sit here and act like they're the best thing in the whole wide world because they're not. And this is another thing too, was Marlene realizing that Xbox at one point in time was bigger than Sony, right? One point in time, Xbox was doing really good until they messed up. And once they messed up, I didn't see players telling the players that left Xbox to say, "You're not going nowhere. You're staying with Xbox for the rest of your life. You're not going nowhere." You know what I'm saying? Those Xbox players bounced. They went straight to PC and other PlayStation. They dipped. So you mean tell me only one type of player base had that kind of power? It's just Xbox only? Really? So Sony only had that kind of power because of what mind share, right? People's minds are so wrapped around Sony's finger that they won't let Sony go for a PC or Xbox or even Nintendo Switch 2. I mean, I'm not letting Sony go right now, but I know one thing. I will be buying my games from other platforms that I will support physically. Put it like that. Let's just say, for instance, like the PS6 comes out, and the games that I want to buy first and second party, oh sorry, second and third party, and I want it physically, and I can't get it from my PS6. You know what? Get it on my Switch 2, or I get it on my Xbox right on my new Xbox. I get it on the Xbox. I get it on my Xbox. If they got a physical copy of my Xbox, I buy it on the Xbox. Or I buy it on my Switch 2. I got a Switch 2 right now, so I'm good with that, right? And that's another thing too, guys. Why doesn't yeah, like by you going to another platform? Yeah, they try to make it seem like you got no other choice besides Sony. I can't stand that. I cannot stand that. Where you gonna go? You hate PC. You hate Nintendo. It's too kitty. You hate Xbox. I don't hate Xbox. I don't hate Nintendo, and I damn sure don't hate PC. I mean, I don't like PC that much, but I don't hate it. But I ain't at the point of PC is saying like, you know what? I never buy one because I know what eventually I might have to end up buying a PC if these all these companies act like trash. I might not buy me a PC one. I might get one next year for all I know. Because like, for one thing, I do want me an actual gaming laptop or PC desktop. Um, for what it is, because like I've been seeing a lot of people saying that you do have ownership on your PCs compared to consoles. So that's a big plus for me there. So I might end up getting me a PC in the future. Not sure when, maybe next year or two. I don't know. So we have options. And the way Brian talk is like you have no option besides PlayStation, and that's sad, bro. And he's the main one that got all these consoles, right? I play everything just fine, right? I play everything. I play Xbox. I play PC. I play Nintendo. I play this. I play mobile. I play that. But as soon as somebody sit there and say, "Well, you know what? I go to PC." Oh no, no, you're not going nowhere. Like what, dude? That is weird. That is sad, weird, controlling. It's cult like behavior. It's a cult like attitude. Like you are the head of Sony, and you're making decisions of the players of where they're gonna go play at. That's what you sound like when you talk like that, bro. Oh, you can't go nowhere. I don't believe you. Whatever somebody say that makes them want to say like, you know what, I'm done with Sony. He is like, no, you're not. You're not going nowhere. Like he has some kind of mind control over you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. It's like, why are you doing? You know why he's doing that? I know why he's doing that. Because he is ran mostly through Sony players. He don't want to see his Sony players leave. Because without players from Sony, but he still got PC players though. But I think majority of his player base is Sony. And once that dries up, the less money he makes off his channel. Real talk. That's what it comes down to. Because PC players are going to see more PC stuff more than this console stuff, right? So he doesn't want that kind of talk of people saying, "Oh yeah, we're done with PlayStation." I never said I was done with PlayStation. All I'm saying is I don't like what they're doing, and I'm trying to support physical disc. You know what I'm saying? And I might still get the PS6 because I don't want to miss out the games of like first party and second party from Sony. But when it comes to like second and third party from other developers, I will be buying that on different consoles. I will have to because they won't have it on PlayStation for this anymore. So what I'm gonna do is I'm keep on buying retro games, keep buying games that's still physical on my PS5 too as well. Even when the PS6 comes out, I'll still be buying physical games. I will. I still will support physical for Nintendo, if possible for an Xbox if it's cheap, if it's a good price. If it's not too expensive, I might get an Xbox. Um, well, it's just crazy, bro. Um, yeah, back to him though. Like it's like listen, it's like listen to a cult leader telling his flock, "You have nowhere to go but me. I am everything." I'm sorry, which is him and Sony. He act like he's Sony himself, right? Like we as Sony, like every time I knows when he talk, he says we as in like him and Sony are together. You know what I'm saying? So he is pretty much speaking for Sony when he says you're not going nowhere. You're never going to go nowhere. Sony owns you. This is like a relationship with what? No, it's not like a relationship with Sony. There is no relationship, nigga. It's like this. I buy, you give me some product and I pay for it. That's it. It's no love like that, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like say no, you know what I'm saying? Sony's not no girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Sony is just a corporation that's evil as hell. I'm sorry to say, but they're evil right now, dog. And they just even they said so themselves. About something. The box is just a plastic box. Without the games, it's just a plastic box. Yep, you're right. And what's going to happen is when you start seeing those games in your library disappear from Sony, take away games from those licenses and everything, that's all it's going to be is a plastic box. You right about that? You know what I'm saying? It's just going to be a empty plastic box when they start taking those games off your library, all digital. And yet people don't care. That's the scary thing about it. They don't care. They see it now. You know, for the people that didn't know like me, y'all had to have seen it now. Y'all had to have seen the stories on YouTube of Sony or the email or something about some. You don't own anything, and yet you got an all digital console. You got all this. Well, imagine that now. Now imagine your games being taken off your library due to license issues. Pay all that money for that game, $80 to $100 for that game, right? But yet, license issues, you know, it's I don't know, man. I might not get that PS6 though, cause like if you think about that though, I might get it, I might not get it. I can't speak for sure, cause like I don't want to have a box like that that you're pretty much just stuck with just whatever they want to give you as far as like um games. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever games you get from them, it's gonna be their prices only through their store. You don't have no kind of way of like getting discounts or deals, nothing like that. You know, that sucks, man. It does. And to know in your mind that whenever they want to, they can yank your games from you. You make them mad, yoink, brick console. They can brick your. What's another thing too? All right, PS Plus, right? Now for me, I'm talking about like as far as like going premium and playing all those old games on PS Plus. I don't use that crap at all. You know why? Because I own most of my majority of my games on physical. And I think that's another reason why they want to go that route too, guys. Because if you think about it, I think majority of the players have a lot of those games. They have those games physically. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the PS4 and like PS4 games and stuff like that. Even PS3 games. Like the games I wanted the most, I already got on my PS3. I could play it on my PS3. I kept my system. I didn't just sell my system, no, but I kept my system. So I think what it is too, like they know that by giving us the disc version, we had the upper hand of not we had the upper hand of having not to use their services of buying the premium edition, of their content to play those games, old games, classic games, because like we have less reason to get it because we have it on physical disc. And it hurts them by them offering these games to us, and we were like, we good. I'm okay. I got it already. I own it on my disc. I own it on my disc. You see what I'm saying? And they don't like that. They don't want us to play these games on, what I'm saying, on disc. They don't. And I thought about that for a while. I was like, you know what? I bet that don't. I bet Sony hates that shit. You know what I'm saying? I got Heavenly Sword right on my PS3. You know what? And at one point, I didn't have Heavenly Sword on my PS3. I didn't have. I had a demo, but I never had the full game, right? So I was like, man, I wonder wish Sony would bring up Heavenly Sword 2 or something. Heavenly Sword, period. Sell it in the store. Nope. You gotta buy the PlayStation Premium and rent it that way. Play it that way by renting the game. Like, come on, bruh. Seriously? So what I did was I said, you know what, fuck this. I'm tired of waiting for Sony to make a Heavenly Sword 2. It ain't never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't get it for PS4 nor PS5. So I said, you know what, nah. So like thinking about 2 years ago, I went ahead and bought Heavenly Sword, bro, on my PS3. I sure did. I got Tekken Tag 2. Been had that game for a long time though. I'm saying like that's another game they had on their PlayStation Store, right? I ain't had it. I didn't need to play that on my PS Store. I'm sorry, I didn't have to play it on my PlayStation Plus. I own the game. God of War. I got the whole collection on my PS3 physical. I don't need that either. I don't have the. I don't have like the God of War PS Vita games or PlayStation P games, PSP games. But I have like the console versions. I got all the console versions right now. As far as the old school God of War, TC console God of War, young Kratos, put it like that, young Kratos. I don't have. I have all of the consoles versions of that. So I had no reason to even use PS Plus as far as like for their games, like for the subscription to play games. I just got it to play online. That's all I needed for. So people like me, they can't stand. You know what I'm saying? And other please, for sure, a lot of people like I got a lot of games too as well. Not just me. Like a lot of people have own their physical copies of games that they don't have to worry about using Sony's subscription service for it either. But I'm just saying for me though, I'm just happy that I got a lot of those games that I want to play. But they can't stand that. They want us to be subscribed to that premium crap, that highest tier for those lackluster games that they got right now that nobody wants to play. I'm not playing it anyway. And it ain't worth it. Games that's, you know, this is not worth it for me. For other people, I can't pick you up, but for me, it ain't worth it. But anyway, uh, then you got YouTubers out here that's acting like buying a used game is a crime, and like you shouldn't be buying no used game because it doesn't go into Sony's pocket. You know what? It shouldn't go through Sony's pocket. After I purchased that game, it's mine. It should be going in my pocket instead of Sony's because it's my game. I purchased that game. Yeah, like every cent in the world is supposed to go to Sony. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Sony can't get money off that game anymore. Good, as they shouldn't. Once I buy that game, it's up to me what I want to do with that game. If I want to keep it or sell it, or trade it, or give it to a friend. I mean, sheesh, it's like they are like Sony to nickel and dime us out of everything we have. That's why they want to get rid of physical copies because they know they can have us stay in their little store locked in and pay whatever they price they give us in their physical store. I mean their digital store. These YouTubers, PlayStation YouTubers, they know it, and they know Sony's plan, and they don't care because they're mad about Jim Ryan and Herman Host and Bungie and this and that. Man, who cares about that, bro? That's in the past. Because regardless of look, if Jim Ryan didn't do it, somebody else would have did it. You know who did it really though? The lie, they lie so much, bro. They don't lie, but they act like this guy's this pieces and cream. She is Sheeta. That's the one you should be mad about. That's the one y'all should be making videos about. Y'all should be having y'all chat GPT to talk about is here she Yoshida. Hold on for a second. All right. Anyway, I'm going to write a video right now though. I just want to tell you guys that keep on fighting, even if we lose this. You know what I'm saying? Like, just vote with your wallet still. Buy other consoles. You know what I'm saying? If you can, buy another console. Buy a Switch 2. Right now, the Switch 2 is the cheapest console to buy on the market. It's a handheld slash hybrid, and it has great games. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do me a Switch 2 review pretty soon as well. I'm gonna talk about the Switch 2 and everything. Uh, but yeah, that's how you want to tax money in the pockets. Buy buy other consoles and buy their games. Buy the games like Resident Evil or what else is coming out pretty soon? Shit, I don't even know what else is coming out. They would say, like Kingdom Hearts or Call of Duty. Buy those games on other consoles. Stop buying it on Sony so much. How they getting their money. Once you start buying games second or third party, or even first party, if you start buying it on other consoles, it would drastically hurt Sony. It would really put a hurt on their so-called bottom line. It would really hurt them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying put them out of business, but like make them say, you know what? Scratch their head, say, we made a mistake. Let's reverse this. See, when you listen to people like Marlon Gibbs, they start telling you, have no choices, nowhere to go, blah 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 blah, and don't come back. He's trying to scare you to not going into another generation of consoles. I'm sorry, to another current gen console. He's trying to scare tap you of saying that don't come back or you'll be ridiculed or you'll be exiled from PlayStation. Man, please. Exiled from PlayStation for standing your ground, for believing into for believing in what's right, what's wrong, to see that Sony does not care about us. You should be telling Sony that. They're the ones that sitting here acting like villains and giving us less choices and just being this straight up. They don't even talk to us. They don't talk to us about nothing. We have no say so of what they do. But yet you want to put all the smoke on the player base. Nah, dude. All the smoke goes to Sony. We're the ones to put some, money in their pocket. And if people do it the right way and they start buying it on different platforms, it would hurt Sony. Because you know why? Because they rely on what? Second and third party games on their console. They rely on that. Yes, they do. Because they don't even put out that many first party games. So if people start saying, you know what, I'll go ahead and give me a Switch 2 this year. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get a PC. Or you know what? I'm gonna give me an Xbox. Do it. Do it and buy your games out there physically. And there's no limit to but more do more physical. If you do more physical on other consoles, that will push Sony to be like, you know what? We made a mistake. Look at Nintendo's number. They do very well with physical sales. Xbox, I don't know about them because they doing the what's call it though, the we call it the Game Pass thing. So that's what's hurting them right there. But maybe you guys change the around for yourselves as well. Like start buying more physical games on your consoles. If you think about it, Sony followed Xbox because what they did was well, no, not really, because Sony does have physical and digital consoles. And Xbox does too. But what happened was, what I heard that the Series S sold more in digital sales than the Series S did. X did. I'm sorry. I don't know about that though, but that's what I heard. There's more Series S's out there than X's. X is in Xavier. X is in X Marks Spark. When I say Series S, I mean Series S is in Sunshine. Okay, so the Series S is in Sunshine sold more over the Series X is in S Cross or Xavier. That's what I heard. But what I heard about Sony is that the physical disc version sold more than the digital disc version of consoles. So I don't know, man. I think Sony could be lying, and they, like I said, they use the PC numbers for those sales majority sales to pop up, make it look like the digital sales won. I'm looking at that like that because who to say that Sony taking those physical, I'm sorry, the PC gamers digital sales and saying that's PlayStation sales. They could be very well be doing that. They could be. But yet, here go Merlin. Always bet the PS3. The PS3 even had digital sales. They sure did. And I didn't buy that many of them. I'll tell you that right now. I played more physical, and I played a lot of PS Home to be buying physical, digital games like that. For real, for real. I think most of my games are digital are like demos. I probably got like two or three or four digital games that I got on my PS3. Which is like what Bloody Roar. Uh, what else? I bought what's the name of that damn game, bro? I can't remember that name. That's what's the name of that game, man? When you play as this guy, Adam something. What's that dude's name? Starts with a P, I think. Prototype. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got Prototype 2 digitally, and I got what a boxing game, Fight Night Round 2 or something like that, round 3 or I can't remember. That's um that's about it though. 3 games digitally. The rest of my games was physical. Yeah, that's about it though. About 3 games, 3 or 4 games tops for my physical, the digital collection of my PS3. Anyway, guys, the main thing is this: don't let these YouTubers, especially Marvel Gaming Nation, make it seem like you have nowhere else to go. Another thing too, you got YouTubers gonna try to keep trying to sell the PS5 Pro, being the most powerful console, blah blah blah. It's not even about that no more right now, dog. Like about who got more power than what. Because like right now, it's more about us having these games, just to own our games and own the digital rights to our games. It's not really about PC versus PlayStation no more. I'm so sick of saying PS5 Pro versus PC. I'm so sick of saying that. We got way more bigger problems than what's better than the other. You know, with Sony sitting here getting rid of physical copies and telling us you will own nothing, but yet, oh yeah, PS5 Pro is way more stronger than PC. Who cares? Does that PS5 Pro give you a physical, I'm sorry, a digital copy that's owned by you? Do you own that digital copy on that PS5 Pro? Does that PS5 Pro make you a pro digital copy that says this is your game forever? No, it don't. So who cares about what's stronger than the other? I don't care about that. I never have been care about what's stronger than the other. That's why I bought a PS5. Like I heard the PS5, what's the name? What's it called? The Series X is more stronger than PS5. I didn't care about that. You know, I care about the games. While I'm gonna be playing on that console. That's all I cared about. I know people getting tired of talking about some PS5 Pro versus PC. That's just it's getting old, really old. We need to focus on the bigger picture, guys. You know what I'm saying? Ownership for both. Why can't we have both? And why can't Sony give us key cards like something like Nintendo? All right, guys, in the video, it's Blessed guys signing out. One love and peace. I'm out.